Well, welcome everybody. This is Coffee with Bryan. Thank you guys for stopping on by and being a part of this broadcast that I do every single Thursday. My name is Pastor Bryan. I am the pastor at Glen Park Christian Church in Wichita, Kansas. Today we've got a special broadcast of Coffee with Bryan. I am actually broadcasting from a coffee shop. Now, you're probably asking where at. So today I'm actually in Anthony, Kansas with one of my buddies here at a church that he serves at here in Anthony, Kansas, obviously. But we're at a coffee bar or a coffee shop here at Anthony called Higher Grounds and Leather Bounds. The first time I ever came down here and see my buddy and hung out with him, he brought me here, and I just fell in love with this place. Not only does it have terrific coffee, but as you can see, there's a lot of Bibles, books, Christian leadership, or Christian books, good reading down here. As it seems like a pretty cool place to hang out. The owner just took me around, just showed me a couple things for like the kids to do. There's a place called the Ark. There's a celebration center where they do like kind of youth programming, right? Is that what I'm saying? And then they actually have like a basement for like the kids to go hang out. So if you're ever in Anthony, come check out Higher Grounds and Leather Bounds. A great place to get a cup of coffee. But hey, so thanks for jumping on with me today. This is our Coffee with Bryan, our Father's Day edition. That's why I'm dressed in my father's hat. So I've got a guest that's going to be joining me here in just a little bit. But before we invite my guest to be a part of the program or the broadcast with us, I want to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of some of our announcement stuff. So again, this is Coffee with Bryan. We do this every single Thursday at 2 p.m. We typically try to go live or broadcast as much as we can. If I can't, or I have something that's come up in my schedule, I'll record it. But I'm happy to always be able to provide this resource for you guys every Thursday. It's a great opportunity for you to ask me questions, or for me just to tell you what's going on in the life of the church, right? And so this is a segment we just call Coffee with Bryan. If you know me at all, I love coffee. So I got here today and I ordered my cups of coffee, and I said I actually want 4 cups of coffee. So this is kind of cool. This is like another little plug. A reason why I kind of like this coffee bar is their coffee cup sizes are David and Goliath. So I ordered 4 Goliaths, and they're all 4 sitting over here. And I get the sugar-free syrups with heavy whipping cream. And so when I said that, she's like, "You want them all right now?" And I said, "Yes, I want all 4 of them right now." So we'll see how wired I am in a couple of hours. So my guest is just laughing at me. So if you have any questions regarding what's going on in the life of our church, what's going on, when are we looking to launch, if you have questions about what we're going to be doing, please email me at brian@glenpark.com. Again, that is Bryan with a Y. Why? Because I said so, and Glenn with 2 N's. So don't forget to join us every Sunday. We do a live broadcast at 10:30 every Sunday morning, both on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching this today, you're watching this over our Glen Park youth page, okay? You need to go like and follow us on the Glen Park church page so that you can actually see what's going on over there. As well as if you don't have a Facebook though, but you're watching this over on YouTube, you've obviously found the YouTube page. So just make sure that you click that notification button, so whenever we go live or broadcast through YouTube, you get notified about that. So, okay, as well as since I am a student pastor, I thought I'd have to put a little bit of a plug in for our kids and what are we doing for our student ministry in the midst of all this COVID season. So we started a Bible study that happens on Zoom. And this happens every Monday night from 6 to 7 o'clock. We play some games, we play some Bible, and play some Bible. We read the Bible, not play some Bible, but we just have fun. We do a great time of just getting ready to just learn more about God, and just we're going to the book of Galatians right now, which has been really great because as Pastor Pete's been going to the book of Philippians, Galatians and Philippians are very, very similar. It's just that they were written on very different time scales. Galatians is one of Paul's very first letters he ever wrote. Philippians is one of the latter parts of his year. Okay, I want to remind you guys again about camp. Okay, I've actually been talking to my buddy about this. Like, I really so desperately want him to come to camp and be a part of camp this summer. So I've got the dates for you guys right there. I know when you guys go onto the website at prairieviewcamp.org, it'll show you some costs of what camp is. Don't look at those costs. Those are not the costs that I'm charging for you. These are the costs I get for you. But I need to tell you right now, okay, if you are going to go to middle school camp, okay, today is June the 18th, okay, you have to register before Sunday, okay, you have to. If you're wanting to go to middle school camp, if you are a middle school student or you are a parent of a middle school student, you need to get them registered. Please, I want them to come to camp with me. If you have any questions or concerns about what's going on at camp, what's that going to look like, call me, email me, text me, whatever. I'm the dean for middle school camp, and if that doesn't work, call Phil Weiss at camp, and he'll answer any questions that he might have for you. So here's the dates for you guys. I'm excited to take your students out there. I'm excited to take my own kid out there for kids camp and be a part of camp down there. So as well as I want to remind you guys about Ask Your Pastor, which happens every Monday through Wednesday. Note the 2 different time changes. Monday and Tuesdays at 2 p.m. and at 7 he does a special evening service. If you didn't catch the one a couple weeks back, he had his cousin Jennifer on. Just a phenomenal service, just a phenomenal broadcast. Getting to hear her heart, and Pete, it was great. Pete's doing a great job with Ask Your Pastor. It's a great opportunity for you to ask him any questions about the Bible, and he'll just give you direct answers. So. As well as don't forget about Miss Becky's Corner. This is a video that we send out every Thursday right around noon, either via our Kidman Facebook page or email. If you would like to receive that email, or you have grandkids, or maybe there's a neighbor kid who would like to see this is a great opportunity. Becky sends out this video where it's specifically geared for our younger age, like our pre-K kids. I know my son is in first grade going into second grade, actually. But he still loves watching this because he still remembers Miss Becky's songs. So maybe some of you guys that are a part of that Kidman page, you grew up going to Becky's class, and now your kids are a part of it. Maybe you might recognize some of these songs. So it's been a great segment. Miss Becky's got years of wisdom, and I'd love to share that with you. And this is a great segment for her. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have, any other announcements. Well, no. Well, so right now, so like I said, this is Coffee with Bryan, a very special Father's Day edition. So it's our Father's Day edition, but I'm also broadcasting from a coffee shop. What better way to do Coffee with Bryan than from a coffee shop, right? So just want to do another little plug real quick. So this is, I am actually broadcasting from Anthony, Kansas at a coffee shop here called Higher Grounds and Leather Bounds. If you're ever in Anthony, Kansas, please come check this place out. It's just a phenomenal place to hang out. Really chill, really laid back. So if you hear people talking, it's because it's a happen place, right? So, well, let me go ahead. I'm going to invite my guest that's going to be a part of the show with us. This is my buddy, DJ.
Hi, guys.
So,
how you doing today,
So
Bryan?
this is DJ. DJ's got on his Father's Day attire. So I wanted to invite DJ to be a part of this because this is my Father's Day edition, and if you guys don't know DJ is about to be a father. His wife is, let's see, what's she right now?
She's 33 and like 5 days pregnant.
Okay, so wow, so anytime soon. So anytime, basically like the end of July.
Yeah,
the end of July, really. So basically from like my birthday. So my birthday is 7/11.
Yeah.
Basically from like 7/11 to like July 20th. So what's our actual due date?
The actual due date is July 22nd.
Okay, so July 26th. Okay, so you better get that right. So I don't know if you guys can catch this or not, but his shirt cracked me up when I saw him. It says, "Take it easy on me. My wife is pregnant." You know, and I was sitting here when I ordered all 4 of these cups of coffee, and they're sitting right here next to me. There's a couple people that are kind of walking around, and I've got all 4 of these, and I said, "Hey, take it easy on me. I have 3 kids." so DJ, you'll get there, man. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So yes. So DJ, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm DJ. I'm from Anthony, Kansas, originally La Crosse, Kansas, which is, it's real funny about my friendship with Bryan is we can both trace our roots back to Hayes, Kansas, and we just barely missed each other in Hayes. He was leaving Celebration Community Church just as I was getting there for youth minister or youth group and stuff like that, and so it's real interesting how that worked out. Mm-hmm. But so I'm DJ. I am a youth pastor down here at Anthony Christian Church. My wife is about 33 weeks pregnant, so 6 weeks left-ish. Mm-hmm. Still haven't paid into the nursery yet, which I need to get on. I like to fish, disc golf. I've recently taken up golf.
Actual golf.
Yes. Yeah, actual golf.
That's more of like the dad sport now.
Yeah.
You know, when you think of like, disc golf, I feel like that's like before you're married, and you're just like dating.
That's like college.
It's like a college sport, you know,
Yeah.
like. Oh man, I feel like I just insulted an entire demographic of
Oh,
people.
you definitely did. You definitely
well,
did.
because I still have disc golf. I still have disc golf stuff.
Same.
And so I don't mind going out and disc golfing, but like if someone's all like if I got 2 texts, you know,
Hey, let's go golf.
let's go
Hey,
golf
disc
or let's go disc golf. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go golf. You know why? Because I
There's
gotta
a golf
walk.
cart.
I gotta walk. I gotta
Golf
walk
cart.
for disc.
I'm right there with you.
And I
man.
gotta go find the stinking disc. So.
See, and that's the downside to our course here at the lake is because it's right there on the lake.
Oh no.
So you can lose a lot of discs real quick.
But then you could maybe go find some.
Yeah. But Courtly got me some awesome waterproof discs,
Oh,
so
so they
they'll
float. Okay.
Unless they hit that water just at that right angle, you know, then they're gone.
Okay. Okay, well, hey, real quick, just want to say hi to everybody. If you are just now kind of joining us, just want to stumble in what's going to happen. And this is a segment or a broadcast we call Coffee with Bryan. Do it every Thursday at 2 p.m. Today I've got a special guest. This is my Coffee with Bryan Father's Day edition because Father's Day is coming up.
Hey.
And so myself, who is a father of 3, and then DJ here, whose wife is pregnant right now, and they'll be expecting their child anytime, basically latter part of July, July 22nd.
26.
26.
Yeah.
You said 22nd at one time.
I know.
But 26.
Courtly's gonna kill me when she
Oh,
sees
it's
this
all
video.
good. So yeah, so the end of July they would be expecting a child. So I think this would be funny. So DJ, you said you like to fish, right?
I do like to
You
fish,
like to
Bryan.
fish. So DJ, have you ever watched, you know, like my broadcast before?
I've seen a couple episodes.
A couple of them. So there's something that I always like to do with like my people, you
Okay.
know, whether you're a guest or whether you're just joining us online, is I like to play a game. And so since I've actually got a guest with me, I wanted to play a game with you. And so
Okay.
when I called you and asked you about something that you like to do,
I was really confused about that. First,
yes.
By the way, I was like, "What? I don't know." I was nervous.
you were nervous. So, and so whenever we started talking, you know, the one thing I could think about with you was that you said you enjoy not coffee. You enjoy fishing. And
Yes.
so I thought, what better way for us to not only talk about a Father's Day edition Coffee with Bryan, and to have you on the show and play a game that I called Name That Fish. And so what I'm going to do is there's going to be a series of pictures
Okay.
of a fish. Now, I went ahead and made it a little bit easier for you.
Okay.
Okay, these are all fish that can be found in the state of Kansas.
That's good because I've only ever fished in Kansas and California.
Okay, so this way it shouldn't be too hard. So if you guys are watching this, I want to see if you know the answers to some of these questions, okay? And so this will be kind of fun because I want you to see how well I can test your fish knowledge. But also it's just like when I think of Father's Day, it's like of going fishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't fish. I'm kind of squirmish when it comes to worms and
'cause you're a
fish.
baby.
I just don't like fishing. It's just not my thing. Now we can go hunting, like we'll go shoot guns, like that.
I'm okay with that.
Or go shoot trap. Like I love trap shooting. Okay. You know, I'm not saying that I'm not an outdoorsy type, but I would rather sit inside, or like if I'm going to the lake, I'm gonna sit next to you while you fish and I read a book. so let me kind of explain a little bit of the relationship between DJ. DJ is an extreme extrovert, extreme, like to the nature, like core to the very core. If
Just
you
not
strip-
over the top.
Yeah, like if you stripped him of everything that he is, you know, his wife, his job, he is an extrovert. Like he wants to be with people. I am the exact opposite. If you stripped everything away from me, I would much rather, you know, have a cup of coffee with a book and sit alone in my chair at my house. That's who I am. And so for us to have the starking relationship, I guess this is where they say opposites attract, because clearly they do. And what's cool is that our marriages are kind of like the exact like opposite, right? Where my wife to the core is an extrovert, your wife to the core is an
She's an
introvert.
introvert.
So me and Courtly kind of talk about understanding each other. And so like it's nice because like I can talk to Courtly from the perspective of an introvert, but then I can kind of give her words of wisdom like, how do you deal with a guy? You know, and so the same thing is like my wife has had almost 10 years of dealing with me. Your wife has had
A little over a year.
A little over a year to deal with you, and so you're still being groomed. You know,
Groomed. I will not be polished.
You will be polished. Give it about 5 years and maybe 3 kids in. We'll see.
Hey.
If you're having 3 kids in 5 years, I give you a hypothetical high five.
You know what? We've got 2 bathrooms, so I know that automatically adds 10 years to the marriage.
Yes,
You know,
it does.
that's what I've been told.
Okay, so again, great segue. So we're going to talk about a fishing game that I want to do with you.
Yeah. So Bryan, that actually reminds me. So I because I've seen a couple of your episodes, I've got a game for you. You know.
Oh, so not only am I going to ask you, you're going to ask me?
Exactly.
Oh, this will be great.
You know, when I think of Father's Day, you know, I think of sometimes dads, they'll reminisce on times that they had with their dads and times that they've spent with their kids and stuff, and they think back to the good old days.
Yes, the good old days.
You know, and Bryan, you've got a little bit of age up on me.
Just a little.
You know, just un poco
Yes.
age up on me.
So here, really real quick. If you ever hear him call me Dad,
Hi, Dad.
so that's a camp thing. So he does call me Dad, but I'm not that old. Okay, I'm not that much older than DJ. Okay, I'm only going to be 31. Okay, this in July. Okay,
Bryan,
DJ
you're 8
is
years older than me.
Yes, see, I'm only 8 years old. Okay, I did not have him when I was 8. Okay, so that would have been really, really bad. So
Hi, Dad.
that way, like, if he calls me Dad in this segment, don't take it the wrong way, please. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so they think back to them good old days, and
Yes.
because you've got that age up on me, you know, when I was born in '97. Okay. And I know the '90s were a great time, and
Yes.
so we're gonna call my game "Let's Throw It Back."
Let's
and
throw
I'm gonna
it
be
back.
asking you questions and quizzing you about your '90s
The
trivia.
90s trivia. Okay, I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to do it. So
I'm excited. I specifically picked out 15 questions.
15 questions. So
That I think you'll get.
Let me see how many different
Fish you got?
fish questions I've got for you.
Okay.
So let me look. I got to count here. Just
Say, because I can cut
1,
it down
2,
if I have
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like I no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9
Oh,
for you.
shoot. Okay.
So how about this?
I
Like,
can pitch that one.
well, even if you have more, that's okay, because some of these might take a little bit longer. So like, if I pop the fish up there and you're like, give me a little bit, you can ask me a question while I'm trying to answer that one.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch on over to my controller here so we can do this. Okay, so the first one's popping up here.
Okay.
So to get that off. There we go. Okay, so it's a little fuzzy right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring it basically like right here, okay? So this is right before. So the only way I could do this is it starts out kind of like a whiteout and then it kind of brings in. But I just wanted to just pop the picture up there. So this is your first fish. Now, need I remind you, these are all fish that are found in the state of Kansas.
Well, Bryan, with this fish, I always get my bullhead catfish and my channel head mixed up. But
Okay.
I know it's a catfish. I'm gonna go with channel.
It is actually the bullhead. It's the black bullhead, but you said it. I was like, there's no stinking way he's gonna say that one, but yes, you were right though. This is the black bullhead catfish. Yes.
I typically get my bullheads and my channel cat mixed up
Okay.
sometimes.
Okay.
So all right, Bryan. My first question. I'm gonna start off pretty easy with.
Okay.
Okay. This '90s fad was like a purse, but carried on your waist.
Oh, it's a fanny pack.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay.
Told you I'd start off easy.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's your next one. Let's pop this up for you. So
It's white.
I know. Here,
Ooh, okay. I believe
I have caught one of these. I let it die on my hook because I couldn't take it off.
Wow.
See what I mean? I don't want to touch the fish. I did let this fish die on my hook because I was like, I caught it and I was like, I don't know how to get it off because I was scared of like the fins.
Oh, Bryan, I'm gonna go with a black crappie.
Look at you. Yes, that is right. It is a black How do you say it? Crappie?
Crappie.
Crappie. I thought it was a crappie. I literally, like, when I found it, I was like, a crappie. There's actually a fish named a crappie.
Wow. All right, Brian.
Okay.
In the 90s sitcom Full House,
Okay.
what was the name of Uncle Jesse's favorite comb?
Oh.
Was it A, Mr. Goodpart, B, Mr. Swoon, or C, Chief?
Ooh. I know this, too.
Do you?
I do know this, and I gotta think here for a second. Give them to me one more time.
You have Mr. Goodpart, Mr. Swoon, or Chief.
Is it Swoon?
No, it's Mr. Goodpart.
Oh, dang it. And see, like, I was thinking that was originally it, but I was all like, that sounds really too cheesy, but I had to think about it. This was the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where
here we go.
everything was cheesy.
Here we go. So here's our next one. Let me click on there and take this off, and then let me show you the image here. Right there.
Oh, that's a channel cat.
There, now, see, I knew you would get that one now. So since you saw what the bullhead was, I figured the channel one would be really easy for you.
Yep.
Okay, next.
All right. Ooh, okay, so what popular fashion trend was big in the 90s? Hipster, grunge, or vintage?
Grunge.
Yeah.
Grunge was. Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say more grunge. Now, do you know who really kind of made that popular?
I don't.
I would say, you know, and maybe some of you guys that maybe just a little bit older than me might be able to clarify this a little bit more. But I think it kind of came about with like Nirvana and with Kurt Cobain. You know,
I could see that.
You know, because he was a little bit more grunge.
Yeah.
No, I've got a student that typically, like a former student that typically jumps on these podcasts with me, podcast shows, whatever we want to call these, and he's more of I'd say a music snob than I am.
Oh, yeah.
And so he might be able to clarify that a little bit more. If there's bands that came out more in the early 90s that kind of ushered in that grunge era. So let's see. Okay, so next fish for you, DJ, is coming up right here. Here we go. Awesome.
Oh, that's perch.
No, this is actually a drumfish.
Drumfish.
A drumfish. Now, here, this shows you how illiterate I am. When I was posting these fish up, they all look the same to me, except for the catfish.
Really?
Yeah, that shows you how illiterate I am. Okay,
I
next
was even
one.
studying last night. All right. You gotta think of your old women groups here. All right.
Old women groups, like, okay.
Like old, like
Old.
Golden Girls.
Oh, jeez.
How many
I already feel bad because I never even watched a single episode of Golden
Wow.
Girls.
Thank you for being a friend. Oh, gosh. How many seasons of the Golden Girls are there? Is there 8, 5, or 7?
7.
Ding, ding, ding. Good job. Winner, winner, chicken
Surprisingly, I actually knew that answer. I don't know why.
I am surprised too.
No, I did know that answer. Okay, ready? Next one. Let me pull this up, take that down, and let's show it now. There we go. This one, I did go fishing like with my uncle growing up, but he would always do everything for me. So like I would cast the line because I like to cast. And then, like, if I got a fish, I would start reeling it in. I caught one of these fish, and it was massive. Like, my uncle was like, man, maybe we should have taken a picture of that and weighed it, because we could have broken the state record. I'm
Really?
pretty sure we could have broken the state record for this fish. But I just liked it because it was pretty. I was 8 years old. Actually,
I'm
I
going to
wasn't
say
8.
this is the perch.
No, come on, D.
Spotted bass?
This is a bluegill.
Oh.
This is a bluegill.
Well, it's not blue.
Well, it's somewhat blue.
No.
It's got some blue.
No.
You see, like the
Not
little.
on my screen.
Okay, well maybe not on your screen, but my screen is blue. Okay, your turn.
All right.
All right, it's my turn.
Yes. Okay, Brian. This one's going to be... This
Hard?
is another easy one.
Oh, an easy one. Okay.
Okay.
It's a softball.
Yes.
You're just lofting it to
Yeah.
me.
Who had a hit? You can't touch this.
Can't touch it.
Da-na-na-na.
MC Hammer.
There you go.
Don't even give me Don't even give
Boom.
me. Yeah, that's an easy one, bro.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. Here we go. Now, I have personally never seen this fish. I would be really interested to see
Mm.
if someone could catch one of these and I could actually see it in person. I didn't even know these were in Kansas until I pulled up the Kansas, like, I don't even know what you call it, wildlife preserve or whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
even
where
know.
I was doing my studying last
Oh,
night.
well then these should be fairly easy because most
Yeah.
of these were taken straight from their website.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's not the northern pike.
No,
It's not the paddlefish.
no.
Mm.
I hope you guys have been enjoying the
Is it-
ambiance of Christian music in here. So real quick, while DJ's thinking about that, again, this is Coffee with Bryan. If you guys are just stumbling in, we're playing a game called Name That Fish in honors of Father's Day weekend. DJ's an adamant fisher. He's trying to identify fish that are found here in the state of Kansas. He's trying to tell me what kind of fish this is, but at the same time, he thought it'd be fun for me to answer questions because I'm always playing games with you guys, so he wanted to play a game with me. And the game that he called Let's Throw It Back is giving me questions that refer to all about the 90s. So because I am just a little bit older than DJ, I'm only 8 years older than DJ. Okay, and so
Dad,
so this is Coffee with Bryan. We do it every Tuesday or every Thursday at 2 p.m. And so right now we're broadcasting from a coffee shop in Anthony, Kansas called Higher Grounds and Leather Bounds. Great place to come get a cup of coffee here in the town. I almost said city of Anthony. It's not a city. It's a town.
It's a town.
It's a village. It's a
It's a
village. So
I'm gonna have to pass on this.
you're gonna have
one.
to pass on this one. This one is called the walleye. It's a
Oh.
walleye.
See, I've never caught a walleye.
See, I never have either, so I didn't even know this
I was
until
like, I remember seeing this when I was studying last night, but I've never caught one.
okay. And see, because I didn't know if I wanted to get like live pictures of like the fish, like
yeah.
what they actually look like with someone catching them, or just going with like the Google,
Yeah.
like, hey, what's a walleye look like?
Yeah.
So,
And see, typically 90% of what I catch is a catfish.
oh really?
Yeah.
So then you'll know a lot of the catfish.
Yeah.
then. So you've gotten both of them. You've gotten two
The
of them.
bullhead and the
There's
channel.
one more that's coming up, so I'm just
Okay.
giving you forewarning about that.
Okay. What was the name of John Stamos' character in Full House? Was it A, Jesse Kostopoulos, B, Danny Tanner, or C, Joey Gladstone?
Jesse, Uncle Jesse,
Yep.
Uncle Jesse. So okay, next question. So you said you know your catfish. So let's see if you know this one. Come on, come on, come on. It's taking a while. There we go.
Oh, that, yeah. Oh.
I think there's only like 3 or 4 types of catfish. So I got 3 of them.
Channel, bull, and... Mud something. No.
Not mud, not mud.
Oh.
Like I've caught this one before. I've caught this this catfish before. So obviously you know it's a catfish.
Yeah.
But what kind of catfish is this? See, because you can identify the different types of catfish. I would catch a catfish and go, it's a catfish.
Mhm.
I couldn't tell you if it was bull, channel, or this one.
You know, I'm not a coffee drinker, so my brain's still kind of in the mornings.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a complete blank on the name.
This one is the flathead.
Flathead.
So if you just like look at it in
Yep,
comparison to
just
some of the other
flat.
ones, yeah, it's really flat on the bottom.
I was like,
so. So I've got 2 more for you. So
Okay.
go ahead.
All right.
Ask me a question about the 90s. So I've only missed one,
I think so, yeah.
and that was the
Comb.
comb.
Yep. All right. Let's see if I can make it. Okay.
So just so everyone knows, I'm drinking a sugar-free
Salted
coffee,
caramel.
salted caramel, which is fabulous. I'm gonna
Coffee's
switch it out
tasty.
and do my pumpkin spice. It's not fall, but I'm gonna drink a pumpkin spice.
All right, Brian. All right. Now this time I need you to think about voices.
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 Oh,
okay.
jeez. Voices.
More specifically, Robin Williams.
Oh, okay.
All right. What was Robin Williams' first animated film? Was it A, Aladdin, B, Ferngully, The Last Rainforest, or C, robots?
Ferngully.
Good job. I was.
Yes.
Who do you know who he played?
He played the little he was
Batty,
the
the bat.
Batty. I couldn't think of his name. I wanted to call him like Birdie, but I was like, it's not Birdie because he wasn't a bird. Yes, Batty. So like, had you
Love
not
that
given me
movie.
Ferngully, it would have been Aladdin.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to
Robots
think.
didn't come out.
Robots
till
didn't come out
2000s.
until like 2006 or 2005.
Something like that.
When did he pass away?
That's a great question.
I don't know. Because I remember I watched his one show. There was a TV show that he did with what's her name? The girl from the Scream movies. You remember her, Hottie Hottie? Oh man, I had the hugest crush on her. Is it Jennifer Love Hewitt? Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Robin Williams was in a TV show with her. I'm gonna grab my phone. Sorry guys, a little segment here. So this is sometimes what we do. We sometimes have to look up stuff because
2014.
he died in 2014.
It's been 6 years.
Oh.
It'll be 6 years in August. August 11th, a month after your birthday.
Oh. So what was that show? I gotta find it because it was such a good show.
No, you know it was a great movie. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
I just saw it when I was.
See, no,
Look at Robin Williams.
Flubber
Oh,
was the
Flubber?
one
Yes.
that I liked.
Yes.
Man, what was that show called? Oh, The Crazy Ones. That's who it was. Oh, man, that show was beautiful. But that was the show that he was on, before... Didn't he commit suicide?
He did.
Oh, because he was dealing with depression.
Mm-hmm.
And that just, I think that shocked the world.
If I
Because
could
someone
trade
that
the
was so
Kardashians
happy.
for Robin Williams, I would.
Oh. Wow.
Bring
Okay.
back Heath Ledger too.
Yes. Okay, so here we go. Next one. You got 2 more fish we're doing.
All right.
So let's take the title screen off here. And here we go. Pull up. Here we go.
Oh.
I have caught one of these. I had to have a buddy help me get it off because he says you don't want to put your finger in there because it will bite.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to hold it this way.
Yep. It's a. Oh, I want to go with a striped bass.
You got it right on the bass. It's
With
not
spotted bass.
No, it's a largemouth bass.
largemouth.
Largemouth
Okay.
bass.
See, with that black stripe running down, it threw me.
Yes, and so I this was a little bit of the harder one because I was looking at the other bass.
Gotcha.
So I don't know a lot about fish, but I do know the bass.
Mm-hmm.
So because here's what happened when I caught that fish and I went to go take it off, and my buddy was standing right next to me. He's like, "Don't grab
do
it
that.
there. Don't do that.
Grab it by its mouth.
Grab it by its mouth." And so
The bottom lip.
Yeah, the bottom lip. And I remember holding this thing up, and this thing was
Mm-hmm.
that big, and he's just heavy as can be, and I'm like, dude, I felt so accomplished. I felt like a man holding up a fish, So
You touched the fish.
I touched the fish,
Good
and I
job,
didn't have
man.
gloves on.
Okay.
Okay, now my turn.
All right. So this one I think is pretty easy too,
Okay.
but I think it's easy because I've seen the show from start to finish at least 9 or 10 times.
Really?
Yes. So, since we're in a coffee shop, I thought it'd be appropriate for this question. It might not be Central Perk, but
Oh, we're talking about Friends.
we are talking about Friends. I'm glad you got
The
my joke.
reference.
On Friends, what was the name of Ross's monkey? Was it George,
No.
Caesar,
No.
or Marcel?
Marcel.
Marcel.
Yes, I remember Marcel. Oh. Okay, last one, and I think you should get this one.
Okay.
I personally have never caught this fish. Well, partially because I never go fishing. And so, but anyways, this one I think should be okay for you to identify. I don't think it's too hard. I have seen these swimming in the rivers, so
Oh, it's trout.
yeah, it's a rainbow trout.
Yeah.
It's a rainbow trout. Awesome, look at you. You
That-
got
that
it all
one's pretty
figured out. Okay. Well, awesome. Well, that does it for our whatever
I've got
my games with you. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna go to a bigger screen here so that you're bigger. Two cameras. There we go. Awesome.
All right, I've got 4 questions left for you, Bryan.
Okay.
All right. This one, I'm going to save this one for last. Okay. Who won the... So this one, you got to think actors.
Actors. Okay.
Who won the Oscar for Best Actor in 1995? Was it A, John
1995.
Travolta,
Okay. Okay.
B, Morgan Freeman, or C, Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks.
Good job.
And I know what movie.
Hang on a second. Where is Forrest Gump when he tells strangers his life story in the 1994 film Forrest Gump?
Mm-hmm. Does it give me an option?
Oh, it does, but just want to see. I mean, you said you could have told me the movie.
I told the movie, but I'm trying to. You gotta give me the option for the city.
Okay, so your options are in a department store elevator.
No. Oh, he's on the bench.
There you go.
I didn't know if it was a city. I was like, did they ever tell me a city?
Gotcha.
Because like the only town that's ever mentioned is Mobile, Alabama. That's the only one I could think about. So.
All right. So, which superheroes had the ability to fight in animal transportation? Was it A, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
B, Transformers?
No.
Or C, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yes.
All right, Bryan. I have the
Now,
final...
did you ever watch the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, which one was your favorite?
C...
It was probably the pink one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Every guy had a crush on the pink one.
Oh, yeah. See, my favorite one was... See, since my favorite color was blue.
You like the blue one?
Blue. Or the black one.
You know, I was going to say, like, everyone always liked the red
red
one
one.
or the white one.
Yeah.
But me, it was like the white one just had, like, the cooler color or
Yeah.
the cooler scheme.
Yeah, because it
I
had
liked
a little
the
like
black
gold
one.
on it or
I
something
liked
like
the
that.
black one. I did like the black one.
Yeah.
Like, he was, like, probably my favorite because he was, like, such underrated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you had the red one and the white one that were like the leaders, and then you had like the blue one who was like a brainiac, and then like you had the Black Ranger, and it was just like, who is this guy? Like, he's super unvalued, and I thought he like if you didn't have the Black Ranger, like, really, like, what would he been like? I don't understand. I just didn't understand him. Like, he was the one I was like, he needs more love than any other one. So
Okay.
I think it was like, it wasn't like. I guess this would be like, how do I say this? Not reverse racism, where it's like, I just want to give him love because he's not getting love. But,
Yeah.
But it was like, I seemed like he was the most underappreciated Ranger.
I can see that.
So.
I can see that. All right, Bryan.
Last one.
Final question.
Final question. Okay.
Okay. Now this one is...
I've only gotten one?
I think one wrong. Yeah.
One wrong.
Yeah, just one, and it was the comb.
The comb.
So, all right, Bryan, this is my final question for you. All right. We're going to throw it back to music.
Music. Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to give you options because it's pretty
obvious.
Pretty obvious.
Okay.
Who had the #1 hit single, Ice Ice Baby?
Oh, Vanilla Ice.
There you go.
Vanilla Ice. Well, awesome.
So
well,
you knew your 90s pretty
I knew
well.
my 90s pretty well. Like, I mean, I basically grew up the entire 90s. I'm born in 89. Pastor Pete and I were talking about that the other day. He's all like, how old were you? Or when were you born? I said 89. And he says, you're just a pup. So, how old's Ron? How old's Ron at your guys' church?
Well, if I said 60, he'll probably hit me.
He can't be 60.
No,
is
he's
he?
50.
He's 50. Okay.
50 or 51.
Okay. Because he doesn't have as much gray hair as I thought.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, he's either 50 or 51.
50 or 51. Okay. Well, DJ, I had called you, and we talked about, there's a segment I always like to do at the end of our show where I'd like to do a devotional. And so we've been going through with our kids because they've been really struggling with this whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
And you're a youth pastor, too, so you've kind of seen this, too, where, you know, seniors this year didn't get a good senior year, didn't get a good closeout, you know, didn't get senior prom, didn't get graduation, you know, didn't even get to like say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah. It was,
you know,
hey, we're going on spring break, and that was it.
like that was it, you know. And so, you know, luckily for me, I didn't really have a whole lot of seniors, but I had a lot of kids that were promoting,
Yeah.
like moving from 5th grade to 6th grade or 8th
grade
grade to
to
high
freshman.
school, or, kids that were just freshmen who feel like they really missed out on their like freshman experience, and like,
Yeah.
really, I don't really care. Like, but when I had to think about it myself, like, and put myself in that same situation, like freshman year was very valuable because that was your first year you were like considered like a
High school.
grown up, like
Yeah.
you were considered like a little bit more mature.
Mm-hmm.
Not all freshmen are mature,
Oh,
but
no.
but it was the year when you kind of considered yourself growing up.
Yeah.
And and I had a couple freshmen that was the case, or it's like I missed out on playing softball, I missed out on playing baseball, or senior prom and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And so I get that.
There's
really
something about that end, that last day of school, walking out the doors and like, hey, I'm a sophomore now.
Yeah, and so it's this, and what I've kind of talked about is it's like it's our identity where we make our identity that which we surround ourselves with,
Yeah.
or that which we do. And so what I've been trying to address is that you aren't who you are by what you do or what you surround yourself with. And so you're not DJ the pastor. You're DJ the child of God. You're DJ the son of God. Or it's who you are by the placement of who God calls you to be. You're not like some of our students that watch. Like Ray. You're not just a softball player, but you're a daughter. And so we've really tried to encourage our students in the midst of all this. And so I gave you a passage of scripture, and then you actually gave me one right back, which was great because they worked really well together. So our first passage of scripture comes out of 1 Peter. So if you guys have your Bibles with us, you can do this. But it's found in 1 Peter.
I love how the two youth pastors just whip their phones out for this,
Yeah, we don't use our actual leather Bible. So
I mean, yeah.
okay, so but this is 1 Peter chapter 2, starting in verse 9, okay? And this is what it reads. And I remember when I read this as a student, I didn't quite get it. Because you're told that you're loved, you're special, you're treasured, as a kid, like, you're special, because every mom thinks their kid is special. But when you get a little bit older and you start getting involved in activities, and then those activities get stripped like they did this year, you begin to feel or ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? And so this is a great verse for those students that might be dealing with that. They're going, okay, well, I would consider myself a Christian, but that's not who I am.
Gotcha.
And I think that's actually probably the greater badge to probably wear. There's like that title of being called a Christian.
Yeah.
So this is verse 9. It says, but you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Now let me break that down a little bit. It says you're a chosen race, okay? And so I just got done talking to a mom this past week where we were talking about how they were questioning about free will, where we as humans, we have free will. And I remember talking with our senior pastor, and he's all like, do we really have free will? And I said, well, yeah, we do. We just like Adam and Eve. And he says, but do you think God didn't know that was going to happen? Do you think God didn't figure out a way that if he chose this option, he was going to do it this way? Or if he chose that option, he was going to correct it? And it says, so in a sense, you do have free will. Like, you make the day-to-day decisions, but God is still ultimately going to make a decision. And because if you think about the story of Jacob and Esau, before they were even born, before they ever even made conscious decisions, free will conscious decisions, God already chose who? Jacob.
Yeah.
Because he tells Rebecca, he tells her, the younger one, or the older will serve the younger. And he says, I'm already chosen the younger one. I don't care. I've chosen Jacob. So Esau, even though he's older and rightfully has the birthright, I'm going to choose Jacob. Esau didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't make any free will conscious decision. So you can sit there and say we have free will. But if you look at that story, there's no free will for Esau. Didn't matter what Esau did.
Yeah.
There is no free will when it came to that. There was no free will, but God knew what was going to happen. So you're a chosen race. So God knew which one he was going to pick. He knew what he was going to do. Just like you and me. He went, I'm picking you to do this, DJ.
Yeah.
whenever I was leaving Hayes and you came in, he knew from that moment I'm going to take DJ where he's at right now. He's going to fail college a couple times.
Shut up, man.
And I'm going to bring him to be a youth pastor in Anthony, Kansas. He already knew that. You may have gone a route that he might have gone, maybe you shouldn't have done it that way.
Wow.
But when you start thinking about it, it worked out because you met your wife and you're in a good church and you've got a great group of kids
Got
and
a baby on the way.
you got a baby on the way. And so even though it may not have been maybe your parents' choice for you, God's choice was, you're my holy race and you're a royal priesthood. And I love that because it kind of piggybacks on what we're going to talk about this summer at camp, that you're this beautiful king and queen, that you are been set apart. And that I love that it says pure, a holy nation, that you've been set apart, and that you only become pure because of faith in the grace of God. You're not saved by faith, you're saved by grace. You're saved by faith through grace. And like, that's a Bible verse that I think we misquote, that I'm saved by faith. And actually you are, but you're not continuing the whole statement.
Finish that.
You got to finish the whole thought, that you're saved by faith through grace. Through whose grace? God's grace. Yeah. So again, it's God choosing. It's God choosing where his grace is going to go. But God's grace is sufficient. and so you have to make the free will choice to do that. So a holy nation, a people of his own possession. So you are this treasured thing. And like when we were talking about this, I said it reminded me of the passage of Isaiah where it says, I have inscripted you into the palms of my hand. That's how much God cares about you, is that he's willing to go DJ Vaughn. Yeah. He's willing to go Bryan Hilgeman. He's willing to say Courtly Vaughn. He's willing to say, well, Courtly Phillips, scratch, Vaughn. And so, and that's cool to think about, like that God's holding you in the palms of his hands. And so, and then if you continue on, and I love this part, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies. So you have a job. So your job isn't just to play sports. Your job isn't just to be a pastor. Yeah. Your job isn't just to even be just a husband. But your job is to rest at the feet of Christ and proclaim the excellencies which made you, one, a chosen race, made you a holy priest, or a royal priesthood, and thirdly, a holy nation. Yeah. And so that's your job. Nowhere in there does it say you're a chosen pastor. Doesn't say that you're a royally awesome youth pastor. It doesn't say that you're a holy camp counselor. Let's make this a little bit more personal for our students. You're not the star athlete. You're not the president of your class. Yeah. You're not even that employee. You're not that employee at McDonald's. Yeah. You're not, what else can we throw in there? You're not just a farmer. You're not just a daughter of your mom or dad. Like, you are a chosen person of God whose grace has been sufficient enough to bring you into that relationship. And so, let me give you a chance. So when I gave you this Bible verse, which Bible verse did you give me?
Like, you read that to me, and I was just like, Bryan, you say that, and I'm going to hit you back with Ephesians 5:8. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Live as children of the light.
Children.
And I think that feels perfectly with what's going on in our world today with the COVID and the riots and all that stuff. There's all this darkness. That's what we once were. It says we're chosen. We're chosen. He writes us in the palm of his hand. That's what we were, and now we're children of the light.
So what do we do with that light, though? Like, in order for there to actually be a light that's sufficient. Okay, so like, I look over here, just like right over to my left over here. You're right. There's a lamp on, but there's already a light up here. Okay, this light. It's a beautiful light. It's a beautiful lamp. But if I shut that light off, does it change anything in this room?
Yes.
But it doesn't.
That light's off.
I know, but that light's off. But it's not making.
It's still lit.
It's still lit, but it's not as. It's. And now, if I shut that big light off, which is multiple lights, right? Yes. But that one single light in an already lit room doesn't really do a whole lot. But if all of these lights were off and that one light was on, this part of this room would probably be more lit up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So find your dark place. We always say, like, I'm in a dark place, or like, I'm scared to be in a dark place. No, maybe that dark place is exactly where God wants you to be, because you're the light that needs to be in that dark place. Because in order for there to be light, there has to be a dark space. And in order for light to invade dark space, there needs to be a light. So maybe you're that dang light. So go be the stinking light. And so I love that. Like when you told me that passage of scripture, that child of light. And so I've been going to the book of Galatians, and Paul uses the word child and sons a lot. And they're different words. They're two different Greek words, where when he refers to the Gentiles that have given their life to Christ, that are now sons of God, it's a different word than when he's talking to the Jews, and he calls them, you may be children of God, but you're not sons of God, because you may be the actual race of the Jew, but doesn't make you a son. What makes you a son of Abraham, just because you might be a child of Abraham, you're not a son of Abraham. And what makes you a true son is when you are the seed of Christ. And so I guess we say all this for the word gnosko, which is a Greek word for to know.
Yeah, I never learned Greek.
Yeah. So gnosko. Won't you learn it in college? I
don't think it's required.
Really? Dude, you ought to just learn it. So the word gnosko means
Bro,
like
I
to
can
know.
barely speak English.
Okay.
You
I know.
heard me last night.
I don't know what meticulous means. You mean meticulous? So, the word gnosko means like to know, but it's not just like I know you, but like we know each other.
Yeah.
Like when we met each other about a year ago, we knew each other. Like we knew each other.
Yeah.
Because we met each other. Now, a year later, we know each other, but we don't know each other like you know your wife.
Yeah.
So
that intimate.
It's an intimate like I know you. Now, like we have spent time together where we've been real with each other. We've said some stuff that maybe outside of the walls of those rooms we don't want anyone else to know, because it's us being real with each other. Just like there are conversations that you and your wife have together that me and my wife had together that nobody else outside of that needs to know.
Yeah.
Because it's intimate. That's what we're calling our students to do. We want them to know the Father. And when you start to know the Father, COVID can keep coming because you don't care. I'm not defined by who I'm with. I'm not defined by what I do. I'm not defined by where I go to church. I'm not defined by my job. I'm not defined by my status in society, whether I'm upper, middle, lower. I'm not defined by how much money's in my pocket. I'm not defined by the clothes that I wear. I'm not defined by the jewelry that I have or the phone that's in my pocket. I'm defined by what Christ says I am. And my Christ looks at me and says, I'm loved. He says I'm treasured, and I'm a world changer. That's the true thing. And so I'm saying that to you. I brought in DJ to be a part of that. And so I think it's great. So I just want to encourage that, guys, with you real quick. So you are a chosen race, a holy priesthood to proclaim the excellencies of God. And so that's my encouragement, our encouragement to you. Me as your youth pastor up in Glen Park, DJ as a youth pastor here in Anthony, in Christian Church. You know, he serves a great community here. And so hey, I want to go ahead and just, if you're just now kind of stumbling in, you've missed a lot of the show, so go back and watch a little bit more. But this is Coffee with Bryan, a segment we do every Thursday at 2 p.m. I am invited, or I'm joined here by one of my buddies here in Anthony. His name's DJ Vaughn. He's youth pastor here in Anthony Christian Church. We're actually broadcasting from a coffee shop here in Anthony. So if you're ever in Anthony, come check out Higher Grounds and Leatherbound's a great coffee place. And if you
don't like coffee, that's okay. They have other stuff.
Yes.
There's smoothies.
DJ didn't drink coffee,
No.
okay? I have 4 cups of coffee here.
I got the so good caramel apple cider. Oh my gosh.
So, and not only, they don't do just coffee and smoothies, they actually have some food and some bakery.
Yeah, so they've got some muffins up there right now and some candy bars. And there's a cooler with some waters and pops and whatnot. And there's coffee free drinks
pop.
too.
You say pop. It's soda to me.
Whatever.
Well, and then think about this, also, it's more than just like a bookstore.
It's a non-profit.
It's a non-profit, but also they actually have a place for like your kids to go play. It's called was it Noah's Ark?
It's called the Ark.
Just the Ark, called the Ark. And then like they also have a like a celebration center where they do like what is that, like Bible study?
They do their summer youth program.
Summer youth program. So that there's that attached, and then like in the basement of it is for like for the older kids. There's like some games and activities. So even if you're not into coffee, but you just want a place to like chill and just have conversations. And that's what this whole deal is about. It's just people having conversations. And I think in the midst of everything that's going on in our society, sometimes we just need to sit down and learn how to breathe.
Yeah. And talk.
And talk. Not debate, not argue, but listen.
Yeah.
You know, James tells us everyone should be slow to speak, quick to listen,
Yep.
and slow to anger. And so I think that if we could take a page from James,
Oh man,
breathe.
You just talking about James reminds me of the last sermon I preached.
Uh-huh.
Words are hard because it was straight out of James chapter 3
Yeah.
and Proverbs 18.
Yeah. Guard your heart. You know, and so let's take a page from that. Be slow to speak and quick to listen and slow to anger. Like, okay? Well, awesome. So, DJ, I do a segment since this is broadcasted in our church in Wichita. Our church has a battle cry. Now, you don't have to say for Wichita, but you can say for Anthony and for the Lord. And this comes out of the book of Judges with Gideon.
Gotcha.
Whenever Gideon and them are about to go into battle, he's saying, when I do this, do this. When I do this, do this to his people.
Yeah.
He's virtually about ready to go up against a battle that, statistically speaking, he should have lost.
Oh, should have lost.
Okay,
yeah.
should have lost. But he's trying to do like a Braveheart moment, like do this and do this and do this. Yeah. Like we're gonna freedom, you know. And so, but what he says, when I tell you to draw your swords, you're going to say for the Lord and for Gideon. So basically saying we're going to do this for the Lord, but we're going to do it because we're right behind you. This is the people that we're serving. This is the people that we love. This is the people that we care about most. And so it wouldn't be right for you to say Wichita because that's not who you're serving right now. And so I'm gonna do a countdown. We're just gonna do our battle cry together, and it's just for the Lord and for. I'll say Wichita, you say Anthony, and then we're gonna close out. Okay,
Sounds good, brother.
Go ready. So 1, 2, 3. For the Lord and for Wichita.
Anthony.
So hey guys, thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast. I hope you have a blessed weekend. I always end it with my statement: Disfrutas la fin de semana. Enjoy
Bye, Dad.
the weekend. Have a great weekend.